I have said, and I still, till this day, did believe that the Kenny, and do believe that the Kenny Out Brigade are morons. If you want proof of that, check my blog out, pitchtalk.blogspot.com, are the Kenny Out Brigade morons. For me, I don't think we should have gotten rid of Kenny. I really don't. And I have always said, again, pitchtalk.blogspot.com, are the Kenny Out Brigade morons. I legitimately said, if we're going to get rid of someone, if we're going to get rid of Kenny, we need to get someone in who's better. Let's not do this revolving door of management and getting rid of managers for the sake of it, like Chelsea, for instance. Because even Roberto Di Matteo is not guaranteed to get that job, even though he's just won the FA Cup and the Champions League. Yeah, I don't know what Chelsea are thinking. But, again, pointing the guns inwards, at the end of the day, 8th place is not good enough. For a team of Liverpool Football Club's stature, 8th is not good enough. To only score what? I think it was 51 goals all season, or something like that. Not good enough. It's one of them ones. Stuart Downing, no goals, no assists. Not good enough. Jordan Henderson, he's young, but still wasn't good enough at times this season. There are many other players that I can name who just weren't good enough. Andy Carroll, the man I don't think he deserves to go to the Euros, but we're going to get onto that in the International Continental Talking Points. But there are too many players who I have said all season have needed to step up. It seems to be in football, apart from Alan Pardew this season, it seems to be in football that blame travels up and praise travels down. When things are going well, the players are the ones who get all the credit, and most managers don't get the credit they deserve. But when the crap hits the fan, it's the manager, it's him. Again, case in point, look at Chelsea. But it's one of them ones. At the end of the day, Roberto Martinez is not my pick to get the Liverpool manager's job. If he gets it, I'll support him, because at the end of the day, you got to support the manager, you got to support the players coming in. But I cannot take judging a manager on the last 8 games of the season, because Wigan did well on the last 8 games of the season, but in the 30 games before that, they were scrapping for their lives in the relegation zone. So Martinez, I don't think is the answer. Andre Villas-Boas, I'm not too sure because of what happened with Chelsea. Not really too sure. But at the same time, I would rather an experienced manager who could come in and galvanise the dressing room straight away. Rafael Benitez, not too sure, because he always likes a lot of money to spend. And apparently we've only got 30 million to spend this summer. So we're going to have to move on a lot, boys. So that doesn't leave much.
Much. I know Tom wants to have a view, and I will give him a view and a room, right? But I'm also going to say this. I'm going to ask 2 questions to you, right? Given that the Kenny Out Brigade are morons, does that not make the Fenway Sports Group morons?
No.
And the other question I'm going to ask, right?
Yeah.
Given that your club's currently interviewing like a long list of people, and a few people have already turned you down outright.
No, I'm gonna come back to that.
Does that not now make the Liverpool job a poison chalice?
No. No to both questions, and I'll tell you why. Because Henry and Werner made the decision based on the league results, which in all honesty is kind of fair dues. Because we, a couple of weeks back, and I think this was a quote directly from you, which I agreed with, the FA Cup would have given Kenny a stay of execution. Isn't that exactly what you said?
I did say that.
Yeah,
I did.
And I agree.
But then I'm going to say this, right? So are you also in agreement then that the Carling Cup and the fact that you won it means nothing? Because if it meant something, surely he'd still be in a job.
True. I mean, I still think the Carling Cup means something, but just not as much as the FA Cup. And I've always said that. I mean, at least we won. The thing is, we did win something. But it was always something.
That was going to be my point. A trophy is still a trophy if not called by any other name.
True.
Now, Arsenal fans will know that on account of them not having any trophies for about 7 years. But the point is...
Gerald Ashley Shakespeare.
Still got a job.
He does.
And do you know why? Because our manager reaches his quotas. Our manager says he's been told reach top 4 football, reach the Champions League, make sure your finances are straight, and make sure the team's strong for the next season, so we can pay off these debts.
Yeah, but your manager...
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but your manager wasn't...
And I've said it before, with Liverpool, there's too much riding for Liverpool. It's not just about winning trophies, and it's not just about qualifying for Europe. Liverpool have big agendas when they need to build their stadium, you know? Well, a lot of money's got to be pumped into that. Liverpool have to have a manager that looks like he's going to secure them top level football so they can be competing with the top teams. If you're not in the Champions League, you're not going to get Champions League players.
No, that's
a fact.
No, that's a good point. That's a fact. No, that's a good point. And you almost sound like Rafa Benitez. Fact. But for me, it's one of them. It's one of them was also whereby the stadium thing. That's another issue in itself. Because there's a lot of people who are like this that and it's like, well, at the end of the day you can blame a manager all you want, but as said it's the players that have to go out on them white lines, between them white lines, and do the job at the end of the day. And I've said that about the England job as well. The manager can only do so much, then the players have to go out and do it. With Arsenal, yeah, your players went out and did it, but ours didn't. For whatever reason, ours didn't. I was so frustrated at Stuart Downing because he didn't get at Jose, aka Stone Cold Bosingwa. So it's in the FA Cup final. So
yeah,
it's one of them. If
Manchester City didn't win the title this season, who would have got the blame?
The manager. But the thing is, as said, but it's one of them as again. It's the players that go out and do it. It's the players that have to go out and do it. And I say that. Go on.
I'll tell you who Big T reckons, because he's on the Facebook wall. He reckons that Liverpool should get Sven-Göran Eriksson, would be a good choice for the LFC manager's position. He did well at Manchester City, and he can get LFC into the top 4.
See, I wouldn't mind Eriksson.
No, that's a fair point.
Yeah, it's a fair.
And he does have a decent managerial record in England and as England manager as well. But Lily, what did you want to say about King Kenny?
I just wanted to say that I don't think he really deserved to get sacked.
Well, what, based on league form, or are you basing that on cup form?
On the cup form, not the league form. The league form was disastrous.
But that's why he got the sack, though. That's the thing.
Yes, I suppose that is true.
So, I don't know.
Well, he is a Liverpool legend anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones. YouTube.com/Pitch Talk with Pitch Talk at the FA Cup. There was actually a fan who was like, you know what? If it had been anyone else, he would have been gone. He would have been gone a while ago. And a lot of the Liverpool supporters that we met, including me, I didn't meet myself, obviously, but that would have been moronic. But it's one of them was where a lot of the Liverpool fans were like, I was like, what needs to change at Liverpool? And one of the fans was adamant and was like, you know what, not Kenny, if that's what you were asking. A couple of fans were like that. So I don't know. But Francis Strong, I see something from you as well.
Yeah, well, I think obviously it's quite clear. I think at Liverpool, when Kenny Dalglish got sacked, why didn't any of the players get told off? Why didn't none of the players do? Obviously Luis Suarez, Andy Carroll, some of them players that should have performed never did. And obviously I'm going to go to with the England job. It's going to be hard for us because the players need to perform. He can't, the manager can't do play. They're not paid to play. They're paid to inspire the team and try and get them on side and try and get them to win. But obviously the manager can't do everything. It's got to be the players that got to take the bullet. If they do something wrong, they've got to take the bullet, not the manager. That's what It seems it's just not really fair on the managers in football anymore, I don't think.